Hi, welcome to Your Black World News. I'm your host, Roosevelt Mitchell III. Today I'm joined by a special guest from Breaking Brown, Miss Yvette Carnell. How's it going today, Yvette?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for your time because I know you're very busy, but I wanted to speak with you about this Tom Joyner situation. The host, Tom Joyner, it has been reported that he is being forced into early retirement next year, that coincides with President Obama leaving office. So I think I read an article that you wrote a while back when this happened to Al Sharpton, and I think I think the word you used was the purging of the black commentators in the media.
I think somebody else said something on Facebook. I think they called it like the Negro Whisperer. so I think I co-opted that, and I gave my Facebook friends at the time credit for that. But I think I called it the Negro Whisperer, right?
Right.
So this yesterday, it was yesterday, and I want to say that we published portions of the Daily Mail article that said Tom Joyner's kind of being forced out. His best friend kind of inked a deal for him that gave a lot of stock to Reach Media. And that's what the article said. Now, we reached out to Reach Media at Breaking Brown and tried to get a statement. We couldn't. But this morning he addressed it. We read a statement from Tom Joyner where he basically said, "I'm not being forced out." But the key part of that statement for me, when he says, "And I expect," the word expect, I expect to stay on as a talk show host for as long as I want to remain a talk show host. Now, if you expect, that says to me that, you don't have any promises outside of the end of your 2017 contract, because he says it's 2017 and the Daily Mail report said he will be out in 2016. And I just don't think that report, that press release that he put out this morning really does much to dispel the rumors that he is being shown the door. But I did listen to the show, the radio. I didn't listen to any of his radio show this morning. So I don't know if he said anything in addition to. I'm just responding to the press release.
But Yvette, just that terminology of expect and things like that. Now, let us not forget that Reach Media is something that he founded back in 2003. Radio One, I think, acquired 53% of it in 2004. And his buddy who they say co-opted, who was forcing him out or conspired to force him out, talked time into giving them, to raising their stake from 53% to 80% back in 2012. So this company is one that he started. So for him to use that type of terminology of expect and things like that, yeah, I think the writing may be on the wall, right? And then it was rumors also that Russ Parr is going to take his slot.
Yeah, it's very interesting to me. Like they're going for a younger crowd, and I'm like, it's just amazing because it's like, you created this thing, right? You created it, and now they're telling you what direction they're going in. It's just, exactly. I mean, that says a lot about, how we devalue ownership. I mean, ownership has to mean something, right? And how do you end up being a minority share owner in your own company? And I think people, and it's very unfortunate because that can get you an infusion of cash. But like, how important is cash? I mean, don't you want something that you can maybe pass down, or something that, I would much rather have that. I would much rather just live a comfortable life and have that than be in the position, this precarious position that he's allegedly in now. But getting back to the whole Negro Whisperer thing, it's like, these people were functionaries. Right, these people were functionaries of the Obama administration, and you can name them all. You can go down the line. You can go down the line of Roland Martin, who became critical of Obama, like second term, started talking about holding accountable. Well, it's too late to kind of leverage that right now. You can add to that Al Sharpton. You can add to that people who were on Al Sharpton's show. You can add to that Joy Reid and others who were kind of given this space for a short time to kind of rally black people around the Obama administration, and now they're all saying, "Hey, we got what we needed, and it's time for you to move on."
That's pretty much to allude to your point. That's pretty much what the Daily Mail stated when it said a source stated that Tom's show has always been about community activism, education, and social justice, and played a major part helping President Obama get elected. Right. So that just proves your point that that was one of the primary outlets in order to help, President Obama.
Yeah, and these people didn't see the writing on the wall. That's just the thing. Like you didn't see that your primary role right now was as a functionary of the Obama administration. You did look if you look at Reverend Al Sharpton's show, right? Reverend Al Sharpton didn't do anything but mimic the White House's communications office. That's all they did. They echoed that every day in and out to black people. They just gave us what the White House was giving us, except in a primetime MSNBC show. So it's amazing to me. And now he's on the weekends. Like he didn't get booted, but now he's on the weekend, and eventually, he's gonna go away. That's just the way it's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's how they phase him out, right? Same way they said they was gonna do Tom Joyner. They was gonna phase him out and bring Russ in, sparingly before it was Russ's slot permanently. And I also had read somewhere else that the sad part is, you're right, Yvette. He started this in 2003, and it was all his, and then he sold 53% for like what, 56 million or something. So yeah, it was an influx of cash, and he got more millions in 2012. But they said that he estranged from his children because he worked so much. He's lost 2 marriages because he worked so much of this corporation or this brand that he has built, and now they come and tell him, well, we're going in a younger direction. Even though I don't know how old Tom Joyner is, but Russ Parr like 56, 57. It's not like they go with 25-year-olds.
I remember listening to Russ Parr, and when I was living in DC, and I'm just like, and I was young then. I was very young, and he was much older than me. So I'm like, how young? What kind of young direction are you going in? Like, I'm just like, dude, somebody should tell Russ that you got like 6 years before they get somebody new in there. But I'm just like, what is money if you don't have control? Like, it's just like, yeah, you got an influx of money, but you don't have control. Like, part of the reason that people want to own things and own businesses or whatever is because I can hire my friend if I want to. I can make sure this person keeps their job. Like, in that Daily Mail article, they said he's had to lay off friends, and it broke his heart. But it's just like, why did you have to lay off friends when it used to be yours? You could have kept those people, but you decided that you wanted to give up on I mean, if there's one thing, I could say, it's like, I'm big on business in terms of if you want to enrich yourself. I'm just not. I mean, Boyce and I don't agree in terms of how business can uplift the black community, but I think it can uplift you and your friends. And I think that's and I think you want that, right? Like, if you got friends and you got a business, you want to be like, I want to make sure my people eat, right? But now you can't do that because you sold the majority of stock. For what? Like, for what? You were living a comfortable life. What do you want? Like, I think that's the question for me when I see people, well, he sold out this and he sold out this. Like, for what? Like, what did you get from that deal that you don't have now? You don't need a luxury jet. You don't need a Bentley. Your needs are met. You can help your people out. That's all you really need. So the whole idea of selling out majority interest to these companies, it's never made sense to me. I know it gets financial leverage, but to what end?
Right, exactly. So, in your opinion, just say that you was in his shoes, or at this stage in the game and all that he has done, do you think that he should go out like a Howard Stern and turn to XM Radio, or if he get forced into retirement, should he go to the internet and have his own show, or like what should if using that role, what would be your next step?
I think radio. I think FM and radio is dying anyway. So I think he should have pivoted in that direction a long time ago. I think he should have pivoted to some serious stuff. I think he should have started maybe even just start off with a YouTube channel and started pivoting that direction, because that's where everything is moving to anyway. This idea of FM radio, people aren't really into that as much anyway. So I definitely think he should have started making a move anyway. But now that if the reports are true and you're being pushed out, now's as good a time of any is to start moving, because he has a base. He has a large base of people who, for reasons that sometimes escape me, that love listening to his show. I can't listen to it because the politics is very elementary, sort of pedestrian for my taste. It's just like, go out and support Obama. I'm telling you, he black like us, and that's why I can't get with that. That's something like, that's what we part ways. Like, just because Obama identifies as black, that you're okay with supporting him, and that's what Tom Joyner has done throughout. And he said, I'm not ashamed of saying that. Well, you should be. So I can't get with him on that level. But I think he has a fan base, and I think when you have that kind of base, you can actually make major moves in new media. You can do some creative stuff, and it always amazes me that like people with money just fail to see like, hey, there's a whole world out here other than like what you're doing right now, and it's moving in a different direction. I never quite understood why Oprah decided she wanted to get a network when networks aren't necessarily are sort of like not where millennials are going to enjoy themselves and get information. So I definitely think he can do this, and he can pivot, and he can transition. And I just hope he, if he wants to do that, he does something good, relaxes, and whatever his new media thing is, I hope he owns it and maintains ownership of it.
Exactly. And we can look on the bright side. If these reports are true, and he's pushing early retirement at the same time as President Obama retires from the White House, at least President Obama can, be on the next time Joyner cruise, right? So,
They gonna do light skin versus dark skin. Hug rope. I mean, that's what. So I mean, we can. If that's what. If that he can be on the cruise, he can. He makes a lot of money. I mean, listen. If people gonna go on, if Negroes are gonna go on cruises, you might as well get them on your cruises.
Yeah, but thank you so much, and I'd like to give you the last word, Yvette.
No, I just really, really, really want black people to stop. And it's not a matter of being a Democrat or a Republican. It's a matter of just not being a pawn. I just really, really want black people in positions of power when they're asked, for their opinion or to chime in, or when they're asked, can you do this, or, what do you think? I just wish they would take a step back. And I remember Steve Harvey kind of went there, but he kind of pulled back a little bit. He made some comments about, I think it was Tavis Smiley or Cornel West, I can't remember which one.
Right.
Obama ain't got time to talk to you and all that stuff.
Right.
But I think he kind of backed away from it. I think he was a little bit more reflective. And I just wish people would reflect on this in terms of how am I being used? Like, what am I being used for? And in terms of business, if you're going to be involved in business, if you're going to have a business, then you might as well just keep it. Like, if somebody's offering to buy into it, then obviously they see a lot of value. And if they see that value, then you should see that value and be like, no, I'm keeping this. Now, it may mean that I don't get an influx of cash. It may mean that I don't get the lifestyle that some people are living. That may be what it means. It may mean I don't get the capital that I need to do something else that I really want to do. But I think if you're going to own a business, maintaining ownership and control is the most important aspect of it. So I think that's the lesson here.
Yeah. Do you think he's thinking about that now?
I think with all these reports, because it kind of, I put the story of my blog and it kind of went on, it kind of caught fire. So I think with all the reports, he's got to be thinking about it. I mean, if what you say and what I've read is true, that he sold a majority stake, I think, the fact that somebody could even make that allegation is because you have sold the majority stake. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I be thinking about that. I mean, remember what Byron Allen said about Diddy and how Revolt TV was basically owned by a bunch of white investors, and he was only a small investor in it or whatever, and he was the face of it. And that was a charge made by Byron Allen. I don't know if that's true. I haven't seen the documents. I haven't seen the documents for Revolt TV. But I'm saying, if this is true, you have to ask yourself how some of these people are being used, and how they're using the community to enrich the people behind the scenes. And that's why as someone Dr. Boyce Watkins is with Your Black World and Breaking Brown. I think that's one of the reasons we always preach about the importance of black media, because there's nobody kind of behind the scenes telling us what to say or what not to say. If we make a mistake, it's because we made a mistake. It's not because somebody was behind us pulling the puppet string. Right. So I think it comes back to the importance of black media as opposed to just black people in media, which are two different things.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, and I hope you all enjoyed this segment of Your Black World News, and please check back with us for updates on this story, and until next time, my friends, be blessed and be encouraged.
Thank you.